Alright, what's up everybody? This is Nate, and we're gonna show you how to package a 27-inch Sony TV, big CRT today, like that guy right there. Went on Amazon and bought these boxes, pretty big. They're, let me see, I think their dimensions on them are 32, 24, 24, and they're about $10 a piece, I think so. But I mean, it seems high for a box until you got to find one that fits a big TV like that. And these are the double wall, dual ply ones like that. We're in my basement where I keep all my CRT collection. You can see it right here, along with some other kid stuff. Anyway, he's very disorganized down here, so got somebody helping me out, and we're gonna organize a bunch of stuff here. Not today, but soon. And anyway, I'm gonna cut this video a couple different times, so you'll see it in different stages of prep. Basically, I've never done one of these before. I've only done like smaller ones, which are really easy. This one's pretty heavy. It's about 100 pounds. So this box, when it's all packed, should be probably 110 pounds. I think that's what I listed it at. So the buyer paid $250 for this TV here. Let's see it right here. And it is a Sony 27-inch Trinitron. People like these for vintage video games, so they're pretty popular. I've sold some of the 20 inches, I think, which are more portable, and people take them to like gaming conventions and things like that. I think I've sold, I don't know, 5 or 10 now, of various types. The Sony Trinitrons bring the big money. One sold for $500 plus shipping, but they'll usually bring $350 to $400 pretty consistently. So this was the first time I'd tried a 27-inch, so we'll see if I can get another one. I'll probably try for a little bit more money, $300 to $400, and see what that brings. But this one sold pretty fast, probably within a week, 10 days. So there's a market for these things, and they're pretty prevalent. This one I got for free, so only 10 minutes from my house. It's pretty easy. All right, everybody, I got my box taped up here, so bubble wrap's ready to go. TV's there, and my remote in my pocket. Remote, always include the remote. This was like $6 on eBay. No reason not to include the remote. And bring more money for the TV. You'll get probably maybe $50 more, honestly, for the remote, what I've seen. So the way I tape these boxes, you got to remember a lot of weight going through this. So the TV's 100 pounds. I tape one time down the middle here, and then you go one on each side, and I basically do this 2 or 3 times, just so this is gonna hold weight because it's gonna come the other way. Make sure you always tape the edges here. I put 2 pieces of tape on each one of these TVs. Normally I only put 1 for anything else I'm shipping, but basically the weight's gonna all come through this middle part here, and so this helps support the whole box. And for this one I just put 1 piece of tape over here. Really, it's probably overkill. You just kind of have to put tape across here and try to support this a little bit more. Anyway, I'm an electrical engineer, not a mechanical engineer, so probably mechanical engineers probably have some very good taping methods that you could share for everybody. So anyway, I'm gonna put this TV, start wrapping it in the bubble wrap, and then we're gonna put it in the box. Back. So I got my TV bubble wrap and paper here, and so what we're gonna do is, I really like this craft paper. There's a couple different weights of it, so I typically gone back and forth, but this is the thicker stuff. That's kind of more like butcher paper, and it seems like when you ship with this stuff, when you crumple it up, it tends to hold its shape a little bit better and not get just smashed, and so your item's not, flinging around inside the box. I use this on all the electronics that I ship, just on the corners, so the corners don't get beat up. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I basically don't get returns for any damage, so I just bubble wrap 1 or 2 layers all the time on any VCRs or whatever I'm shipping, and then I do all the corners with this stuff here. And you don't need very much. You just gotta tear off about like that much for each corner. It looks super good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bunch of this stuff, and actually this box is going, I'm gonna put the TV, put this box, you'll see, on top of the TV basically, and then flip the TV back over like onto it. So, and then we'll be taping this up again from the bottom. We're taping this side up from the bottom side. Basically the TV will be upside down in the box, and we're taping it, and then we'll flip it back over, because although I'm not gonna be able to take this TV and lift it up like actually into the box. So I'll have to have 2 people to come, or me and my wife probably, or somebody else. My wife's pregnant, but maybe 2 of my kids will come help me take this TV upstairs. It's 100 pounds, so if you got 2 people, 3 people, it's not a big deal. My kids are like 10 and 12. 2 of them. We got 7 kids here. So anyway, we'll get this going. We'll get the wrapping paper in there, and I'll show you in a minute. Paper in the box here. So with this, like I said, the TV is going to go upside down in here because this box is going to go over the top of this TV after I bubble wrap it. So so again, the TV will be upside down in here. This paper, basically all it's going to do is prevent the box from caving in on the top of the TV and give it a little bit more cushion. You don't need tons and tons of wrapping. If you got a box that fits well with your item, always want to make sure that it's tightly packed, because otherwise the item flings around when the guy delivers it, basically, or drops it. So that's what causes damage to things. It's not really dropping it, it's the item inside the box slamming against the side of the box, and basically the box gets really easily damaged that way, and that's how you get boxes that are coming apart in the mail all the time when people ship you stuff. So that's it. So I got, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 layers of bubble wrap around. This is probably overkill, as I said, but if you've never used this stuff, this is stretch wrap. This is not the shrink wrap, but it's just stretch wrap. You get this stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's cheaper places, but a roll of this stuff, I buy at Walmart for, I don't know what it is, $6, like that. Tends to last me 3 or 4 months. When I send new things into Amazon, or not new things, but things in the original packaging, I always wrap it in this. Just kind of keeps the package, I think, a little bit nicer for the buyer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this just a couple times on this, just to keep the bubble wrap on there. And so then I'll show you. All right, so you can see I just went around here, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. I'm a little bit dizzy actually from running around the TV. So, but yeah, the point is not to make it difficult for the buyer or the customer to take the wrapping off. I get a lot of things in the mail that, you know, people just taped like crazy or wrapped like crazy, and there's no need for that. If it's packed tightly in a box, the wrapping's not going to come off. So anyway, this is just to keep it on there, so when I put it in the box, it's not going anywhere. All right, everybody, so you'll see on this, what I did was I just took some bubble wrap, and it's layered, I don't know, like 6 or 8 times or so. I just folded it up. And what I did was I put it on top of the TV, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around to the back side here also. Since it's actually bubble wrapped all the way around, I just leaned it gently over on its face, and these things are really well built, so as long as you're treating them gently, you don't really have to worry about anything breaking on them. But I'm basically gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take probably a few more layers, because this is the bottom and it's gonna go in the box, you know. And so anyway, I'm gonna put the, you know, I don't know, about 10 layers probably on the bottom here. And again, we'll put more paper on it, so it's a little bit tighter, but we'll put like 10 layers on the bottom, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around it again with my stretch wrap. Again, not like wrapping it super tight, but just enough to keep it all together. All right, guys, so here's this TV. Like I said, some padding. This is actually the bottom of it, so, but it's flipped over. So padding on the bottom now, padding on the top, and you can see it's just kind of loosely stretch wrapped on there, so the packing is not going to come off again. So when the customer gets it, they're not going to have to struggle with tape and everything. Just take a knife and then cut this open real quick. Yeah, it's just the shadow that's on the TV. So anyway, we're going to put this in the box now. My box is over here, and what I'm going to do is, since that's the bottom, we're going to take this box and just flip it right over on top of that TV. You got the paper in there, a little bit extra to pad it, and then we'll pack it right up. All right, so I got the TV back in the box here. So this is the top of the TV. You can see all I had to do was, when I flipped that box over the top of it, just roll it right back over onto the back. I mean, it's, you know, not light, but it's not super heavy or bad. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this craft paper, and we're going to go. You can see the craft paper at the bottom of the box here. And we're going to take the craft paper, and we're going to go kind of all around this thing and really pack it in tight. So you can see when I close this, I'm not even going to need any paper on top. And then what I'm going to do is, I have a 4x6 label printer, thermal label printer, and we're just going to put upright stickers on each side of the box here, and put fragile. So those stickers I'll show you, but I make in PowerPoint, and I just save the file whenever I have a big item like this. I just put fragile stickers on it. It just comes right out the label printer. So I'll show you in a minute how this is packed. I forgot to mention, one of the things I like to do with the remote, if you have one, is put it in the bubble wrap, and so the back of the CRT goes kind of down, you can see right here. And so this being the top, there's not going to be a lot of weight on this side here, and if anything, this is going to help support the top of the box. It goes over it, so I like to put the remote, kind of tuck it in on top of the TV right there. So I forgot to mention before, so this is the side of the box, and so when they're constructing this box, this is just glued, right, this seam here. And so what I like to do, especially on these heavier items, is before I even start packing, I just forgot in this case, but before I even start packing, is especially when you start putting the paper and stuff like that inside here, you're trying to get it very tight. So you're trying to leave air or space between the outside of the box, fresh space between the outside of the box and the item, but you also want it to be pretty tight and not loose, so the item can't get next to the box. So when you do that, it's easy if you're trying to get this tight in here, especially on the seam. The other ones are not so bad; you can rip those too. But I always like to tape, you know, around, especially around the top here, and then tape down the seam before I start packing it. So because I've had these just rip out before, and then you know the integrity of the box is kind of ruined at that point. So that's just a little trick. All right, guys, it's packed and ready to go here. So all I gotta do is close it up now. You'll see what you really want to focus on is you want to focus on the corners here, because it's really not force that breaks plastic, it's pressure. So and pressure is just force over a certain amount of area. So what really breaks things is if you get a high force on a small amount of area, and that's what breaks material up. So what you're trying to do by focusing on the corners, that's the area where potentially the most pressure could be, because the area gets small, right? Like on the corner here. So you're trying to cushion mainly the corners. So and that's typically where you'll find box damage as well. So we got this taped up, bubble wrapped up, and then I'm gonna tape it up the top. All right, so here we got label, or shipping label, and then all these, there's 4 of each of these stickers here. So what I do is I just pop them on the box. These are made with a Zebra, I think it's 2844 label, thermal label printer. And if you guys don't have one, I think they're like $60 like used. It might be cheaper now on eBay. And I got mine like right after I started doing this flipping game, I guess, or flipping business. And dude, it saves so much time. You gotta get one. All right, everything's on the box label. You can see all these guys up here. So, I mean, yeah, the labels are so cheap. Just throw them everywhere. Super easy. All right, guys, that's it. If you like what you saw, I'll try to do more of these as I pack different stuff. You can check my Instagram and Twitter also. So Instagram has some photos on a smaller box. I think it's a 20-inch Trinitron that I did, showing you how to do it. I just buy those boxes too, to be honest with you. Those are really cheap at Home Depot. I think they're like $4, and they're double wall again for the 20-inch TVs. So again, these TVs are free to very little money, and pretty easy to make at least $100 on the smaller ones. I mean, even 13 and 9-inch TVs, super easy to make money. So you just got to be willing to do some packing. I mean, this box, if I wasn't making these videos, took me, this is the first time I did it, so next time it would be probably half as much, but probably hour or so. A 20-inch, now I've done it 10 times. Like I said, I mean, honestly, it takes me 15 minutes to pack it. So when you learn, it takes a long time, or takes a little bit longer, but once you do it once or twice, it gets really fast. So again, easy money there.